Hey guys, it's Josh Muirhead from joshmuirhead.com or Josh_Muirhead on Twitter. Yesterday I gave a really quick review on this lovely book, Poke the Box, and hopefully if you haven't done so already, go to two sites following this video. One, to the Domino Project, that was I'll call them the publishers of this book. It's Seth Godin's new initiative, also the writer of this book. And also check out the book itself on amazon.com.ca, and there you can find it on your Kindle, obviously in hard copy, and even on CD MP3. So every option is there for you. So what I took away from Poke the Box, like I said yesterday, was in one simple word, ship. And that's really what it was all about. I mean, really within the first 15 pages, it's only an 83-page book total. Well, maybe 87 pages with kind of beginning and end stuff. So 87-page book, very quick read. I read it in just a few hours and I'm a slower reader, unfortunately. Was that there was one big underlying tone: ship, and ship a lot and ship often. Seth takes actually the majority of the book, excuse me, to explain how important shipping is and how, the days of hiding under desks and going, just doing bare minimum is no longer enough. Unfortunately, in today's ever-changing economy and in today's ability to be a global reach, you can't be just mediocre anymore, unfortunately. And that was probably my biggest takeaway, is that you can't be mediocre and you need to ship. Most importantly, you need to ship often. Seth, getting closer to the end of the book, did talk about overshippers, and sometimes I'm sure we all feel this way, like, geez, I actually ship a lot. However, most likely if you really looked at your shipping amount, how much stuff you really got at the door, and shipping is just a term that Seth Godin has turned. Think of how much stuff you got out the door, how much stuff you send out to the world, how much stuff that you let other people know about. So there's going to be a few people who actually ship too often, but the majority of us are not going to ship enough. And the reason is, and again, the whole thesis, I believe, of his book was, it all goes down to the basis of fear. And not fear of losing money, well, maybe in part with that, but fear of being rejected, or vice versa, fear of it actually working and then having to go, oh crap, now what? And that's, two fears that are very concrete in the human psyche. If you think about it, a lot of things that hold us up day to day, almost any activity, are those two fears. One, what if I get rejected? I mean, you think of comedians, the best comedians, they don't care if they get rejected. They'll get rejected millions of times before they get their first real, genuine, all out laugh. But that's, that goes towards shipping. Or reverse, what happens if it works really, really well? Then what do I do? And that's a genuine fear, and don't discredit that. That's massive. In fact, I would almost argue in some ways that's the bigger fear for some people, of not if this fails, but what if this succeeds? Because then I'm held accountable and more people are looking at me, and the list goes on and on and on. Now, there was a couple great points in the book, and I'm just trying to look around for my notepad and I can't find it. And because this is just directly through YouTube, there's really no editing. So a couple quick points that I really took away. One, there was a point in the book that talked about, how everything that's mediocre comes from mediocre. It's not a great mystery. It's that if you do mediocre things, you're going to get mediocre results. Makes sense. Pretty clean cut, pretty easy to understand. There was another point, and there was a few great stories in there. One story was about a gentleman who totally changed his business, and did it because he didn't ask his boss. He wasn't like, well, here's my 10-point proposal. He's like, you know what, I want to change my business. This is what I'm going to ship, or this is what I'm going to do. And he just went ahead and executed it. Seth Godin even shared a story of this time when he worked at Yahoo and he started to organize these lunch meetings. Now, he was told that he shouldn't do that anymore. And really, he had three options, or he should have done three things, like he said in his book. One, probably stop doing it for now. 2, find another job ASAP. Then he kind of has a little bit longer written out. Or 3, continue to do that, because whether you get unfortunately fired or not, the matter is that you're continuing to ship and you're continuing to put out your ideas, because no one business is going to be able to sustain you or the industry for your entire life. Most of us aren't going to get that gold watch after 45 years of committed service. It's actually statistical now that for for the most recent generation leaving university, they will go between 5 to 7 different careers throughout their lifespan. 5 to 7 careers. So they'll spend a 3-year stint here, 2-year stint there, 5-year stint here, and then they're done. And that's really something that we, both young and old, need to think about, that the economy is going that way, not to the way of getting a watch after X number of years of service. There's a lot more good stuff in this book, and I certainly don't want to take up too much time. It's an easy read. I should say it's an easy read from the fact that it's a short read. It's not an easy read for a lot of people. A lot of people are going to get about a third of the way through and go, no, I'm not really feeling this. I'm not really digging what you're laying down here. And that's fine. And Seth knows that. Seth is very polarizing, which is a whole other discussion. So pick it up. If you love it, share it with people. If you hate it, share it with someone else, because obviously you're not going to pick it up again. Again, go to amazon.ca.com. It's there. Go to the Domino Project to understand a little bit more. Thanks for joining me. Again, I'm Josh Muirhead at joshmuirhead.com or Josh_Muirhead on Twitter. See, this is live.